Hey, it's Cheesy with Red Fox Gamer 3 here, coming at you with Dope or Nope, the series where we look at Switch games to let you know if they're good to add to your library or if maybe you should consider passing. Today we're looking at a baseball game. This is EBaseball WBSC Power Pros. You just saw me toggling through the game modes. This game is mainly an esports game. That's what the championship mode is. You're supposed to climb the leaderboards and rank up through different tournaments. There's also an in-depth team creator where you can look at different players and their chemistry and change colors and fonts and things like that. Where I spend most of my time playing this game was Versus, where you can do the traditional against someone else. You can also spectate a game, or you can just play against the computer. The other modes are pretty self-explanatory, except Tournament, which is not the same as a Dynasty or Season. It's a co-op tournament against another player, so you'll need friends or someone you can consistently play against to be able to play that mode. The practice mode is also pretty helpful to refresh your memory of anything you may miss between playing the game, or just to go and practice getting better, because again, this is an esports game, so it's heavily focused on getting better and rising up the ranks and difficulty. Alright, now let's look at batting and pitching, two essential parts to get right in any baseball game. And I have to say, this game feels good to pitch and hit in. Each pitcher has a special pitch, and there's also perfect and bad pitches, which the pitcher will emote to if they throw a bad one, and you'll get a perfect across the screen if you throw a perfect one. So it feels really rewarding to do that. And in terms of individual skill, everything on screen matters. So the batter's trajectory is their tendency to hit the ball higher in the air or not. They have grades for each attribute for the pitchers as well as for the hitters. The color of their name matters. Their smile matters. Everything in this game is built very well and in depth so that you can create the team that you want to play the style that you want, which is really, really great. Beyond the emotes for pitching and the BAM for a big hit, this game also does a good job of making you feel the pressure in momentum shifting situations. You'll see in the B-roll a shot where the scoreboard is flashing because it's a big situation with runners on, and that feels like a real baseball game. So here's that example. You see the scoreboard is glowing, and although I got the last guy out, this guy is glowing and he's ready to make a hit. So with some of the basics out of the way, before we get into things that I don't like about the game, I want to mention that I'm going to tag a channel here on YouTube that does some very in-depth Power Pros videos, including videos from this game. And if you're interested in this series, you can always import the other games from Japan because Switches are not region locked. At least the Switch 1 is not. I don't know about Switch 2. Now, for everything that this game does right, like its surprising depth and how colorful and fun it is to play, there's one major thing I just can't excuse, and that's the lack of features. Now, I get it, I'm very biased towards the show, which is the other baseball game that I've played, and this is meant to be a niche product where the focus is esports, but I just can't excuse that there isn't a ton to do in this game. I do have friends I would recommend this game to, and it has been fun for me to play, but for the general audience, I would say this is a nope. I just can't recommend it because of the lack of features, unless you really like esports and you want to get really in-depth into how to get better and customize your team. Again, this is not a bad game at all, and it is very affordable, so if you feel like getting a unique niche experience, then you should go for it, because this series has not made many appearances in North America, and you may not feel like importing the Japanese versions is best for you. So I think this game has a lot of value. It can be fun. However, again, for the general audience, I just think the lack of features and not having a connection to MLB is just enough to say nope.